explain about. Well, there's a home stretch here on Arise Prime Time with me, Sulaiman Lede. And this is where I bring in my guest analyst to make sense of everything you've heard so far. And joining me tonight is Arise News analyst and former chairman of the editorial board of Daily Trust newspaper, Mahmud Jega. Good to see you and thanks for your time.
Thank you.
The speech of the president will only become something that will be evergreen if some of those sound bites are implemented and effected to the extent that Nigerians will feel so good about it. Speak to us about, some of the key things raised. What are the talking points for you?
Well, you see, it was a major departure from the earlier statement by the government about a plan to give 8,000 naira to, that one met with a lot of criticism and the government had to withdraw it. But this time, this one, obviously a lot of thinking and a lot of planning went into it, and also the president did the delivery himself, and he was quite confident and well focused, and he laid out the plan for everything that he would do. Beginning from the whole thing stems from the difficulties that the country is having with the exchange rate and in particular the fuel price deregulation. So he laid out the program, agricultural, for the nano industries, for the small and medium scale industries, even for the mega industries, plus the infrastructural plan and also the agriculture. So on the whole, it was a very, very good plan in my opinion. But as you said, Nigeria had not been lacking in good plans in the past. People have to see to believe it. And the problem is not the president himself or his vision. It is that sometimes you have cause to worry whether the government of Nigeria has the executive capacity to deliver on some of these programs, because there have been great ones, even in recent years, like Anko Borrowers and others. Although the president said something important, that one of the problems was giving out these loans to small scale industries and medium scale is how do you really get to recover it, and how do you ensure that they do not misapply it. Many of our poor people, if you give them money and say invest in this business, they might go, if you are not careful, and just eat with it or marry or some other thing. But the president did say that the financial institutions will be brought in. Now that is very important, because in Nigerian society, the banks, including the microfinance institutions, they have more capacity than the civil service, from what we can see from experience. So let not government agencies be the ones to dish out this money, because then inefficiency will come in, corruption will come in, irrecoverability will come in. But if it is the banks have certain strict rules, and they also have better capacity and greater motivation, and also better, IT facilities and all that. And it will serve other purposes. For example, many of the poorest people in the country that are the targets of these intervention programs, they are unbanked. They don't have bank accounts. But if you are going to distribute these loans through the financial institutions, then obviously they will have to come and open bank accounts. And it doesn't have to be the big banks. There are now all kinds of small, OPay, Money Point, that you don't even have to go anywhere. Yeah. Just send your telephone number, they will use it and open an account. When I saw it from my children, I couldn't believe it. I said, what is it? They said, no, you don't have to go anywhere. It's just your account. So that way you can bring in millions and millions more people into the financial inclusion. I think that's what they call it. So on the whole, it is a very good plan. But maybe there are some elements there that I wish were there.
Like?
Which, like the power sector. Because that's
there was no mention of that.
I don't
categorically.
Think
so. No,
exactly.
there wasn't any mention.
There wasn't. And the industries, the big ones, and even the medium and small scale ones have been saying over the last 2-3 decades that poor electricity supply and smuggling are the two biggest impediments to industrial growth. Those are the two things that kill, for example, the textile industry. We used to have hundreds of textile industries. Most of them have shut up. There is no electricity, and they had to rely on fuel oil, which was very expensive, and they cannot compete directly against Chinese and other products that are being smuggled through the porous border. So those two issues are very important. Even if you give money, if you give ₦1 billion to a factory, they might come back after 1 year and tell you that, well, the electricity, the cost of electricity, especially now it is still going up, has consumed all the capital, and also that their products could not compete because there was smuggling. So those two issues were not directly addressed in the speech, but the government has to have concrete plans for those. Otherwise, it could destroy all the other.
Let's see if we can quickly close on this, if we can do this in a minute. And, you know, he identified some of the drawbacks, and some of them are groups or persons, individuals.
Yes.
You know, do you think the government has a muscle or the willpower to address that?
In previous, if our experience in the past is anything to go by, the government didn't really have much muscle, although it has a lot of security agencies. And, you know, we are talking about trillions of naira, like in the case of petroleum subsidy, and also the multiple exchange rate of the naira in the CBN and other places. And that made for a lot of corruption. And the president said the people who used to gain from that will definitely fight back. But the most important thing required, I think, going forward is the presidential will and the determination. Some people, it will not be 100% perfect, but with the president's own will and determination, he might be able to substantially stem probably the rots that we have been having.
Mahmud, Jega, many thanks as always.